Hi, I'm Cheryl and welcome to Homeward Studio. Guess what I have? I have two $25 Amazon gift cards. My last video, I had mentioned that I was going to do a giveaway in appreciation of exceeding my 2,500 subscriber goal. I'm way over that now, and I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. All your likes, your shares, all that stuff helps my channel grow, and I can't be here without you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, with all that being said, the giveaway will be next Wednesday. I was going to do it this week, but I had to postpone it. And first I'll tell you what it is. There will be two lucky winners, and this is not an affiliation with YouTube at all in any way, shape, or form. It's my own giveaway. It's totally free. You don't have to do anything other than you will have to comment on my video, which will be next Wednesday. And you also have to be able to edit the comment to make sure it's not a bot. Anyway, my instructions will be posted in the community tab. I will be back on here again to remind you guys about it. So the giveaway is one box will have a $25 gift card and some extra craft supplies. I cleaned up my craft room. I did a video, I think a week or two ago. And if you saw it, I have an abundance of everything and I'm going to share it with you. So both boxes will be the same. Craft supplies from my stash, a $25 gift card, and the second one will be the same thing, and there will be two lucky winners that I will select. Anyway, I had to postpone it because my mom was in the hospital, and I'm sure you guys understand that. She has COPD, she has congestive heart failure. I was over there helping her clean her house, and she was way winded, way out of breath. Her lips were purple, and she just couldn't get enough oxygen, and her compressor was way up. And I said, you know, you got to go to emergency. And she didn't want to. She fought with me, and I'm like, come on, Mom, you know. So I drove her out there, and they admitted her, and they kept her there almost an entire week. She is home now. She came home a couple days ago. She's doing really well. Today when I talked to her, she said, I can't believe how good I feel and how much better I'm breathing. So they have her on steroids and antibiotics, and I think they said that she had possibly like the beginning of respiratory failure, or I don't know, some kind of infection. I know her white and red blood cells counts were really bad. They're much better now, so I'm rambling too much about that, but I wanted to share that information with you. So next Wednesday is what I plan. And again, the information will be in the community tab, and I will be on here talking to you again. And I thank you guys, love you from the bottom of my heart. So let's get into the video, Valentine's Day stuff. Okay, number one, I have 4 projects for you today. Or I should say 4 crafts. This is a vase that I got from, I believe, a Target dollar spot like 2 years ago. You can use any kind of vase. I have some baker's twine. I have some ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and these are actually reed diffusers that I kept, but you can use dowel rods if you make this. And I have the burlap roses from the Dollar Tree. I also have some antique wax. So I always like to paint my stuff first so it dries while I'm putting everything else together. And I'm just taking a baby wipe and I'm putting some of this antique wax on the diffusers. And now I'm just going to wrap this Dollar Tree ribbon around this vase. Now, if you don't have a vase like this, and you probably don't, you can always paint one. Get a pickle jar, clean it out, paint it with some plaster. You can paint a strip of red down the bottom or not. And any old ribbon will do. I just like this one. I have 2 rolls of it, so I thought, you know, I'm trying to craft my stash because, you know, like I've said to you guys a lot, I have a lot of stash. And I'm going to share some with you, and I still have a lot of stash after that. But anyway, I just wrap the ribbon around the bottom here and just glue it. Okay, so now I have these burlap roses. They come in 3 different colors, pink, red, and burlap color. So basically what I did is I just pulled, they have like a little wire piece in there, and I just pulled that out and just hot glued the little dowel rod right inside it. And then this one, I have 2 burlap and then 3 of the red ones. I didn't use the pink ones because I didn't want any pink in this video, because I've been doing a lot of pink, and my next video will be more pink, which will be on Saturday, but it will be more spring too. Transition. But anyway, I pulled the wire out of this and I pulled it all apart, and basically it's just one long strip. So I just took it all apart, rolled it back up, hot glued it, put the dowel rod in there, and yeah, called it a day. So again, there's the 3 red ones and then the 2 burlap ones, and this is really simple and really easy, and it's so pretty. I think it turned out so cute. Now I have this baker's twine. I don't know where I got mine from, but I know the Dollar Tree sells it. They're in smaller spools, but I am just going to take and do a shoelace bow on each one of these, so 5 of them. It was hard to, you can see I'm struggling with this. It kept rolling on me while I was trying to tie a bow. So I put a bow on each one of those, and then I took the baker's twine and I wrapped it around my fingers probably like 10 times at least. And then now I'm just going to take and double knot it in the middle, and I'm going to cut off the 2 little pieces there. I'm going to leave, there's 4 from the beginning and the end, and then the piece that I tied it off with. I left one to kind of hang down. I hope that makes sense. You'll see though. And then I just popped it on there, and now of course a button, because I love me some buttons. And yeah, see, I use these Walmart buttons all the time, and I swear that container is not getting, it's still full, and I use them a lot. So anyway, this is what this looks like, and I just love this. And this is a great piece if you don't really want, you know, I mean, this is not necessarily a Valentine's Day piece. If these are your colors, you know, you can do this. You can pop it on a shelf. You can pop it probably on the top of a tier tray, and I think it's so cute. And you could do this anytime. Just swap out the ribbon. Okay, number 2. I love this piece, and these are pretty much all Dollar Tree stuff, with the exception of a couple of the ribbons. So I have the 2 large wood hearts from the Dollar Tree. And I have that little piece that's from the Dollar Tree too. I think there were like 4 that were attached. I have, this is a calendar from the Dollar Tree from this year. So the XOXO is February. And the scrapbook pieces are not from the Dollar Tree. I think they're from Hobby Lobby. So one is black and white checked, and then the other one is a kind of a unique piece. I don't even know what it is called, the red one. Anyway, I have some pit berries, I have some ribbon, I have some of these beads from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to use all this and make something really amazing. So I just removed the hangers from all or both of these pieces, and then I put some Mod Podge on all 3 of these pieces, the 2 big hearts, and then the 2 small hearts. And I'm trying to get the edges really, really well, because we are going to do the trick that I love to do, and that is the iron method. So after the Mod Podge is dried, I took the calendar piece here, and I took some parchment paper in my little heat iron press, and I'm just ironing that on. And what that does, it reactivates the glue, and the paper, tissue paper, napkin, whatever you're using, it glues it right onto that. So it heats it up, and then it will cool down, and it sticks. It works so well. Anyway, and then the parchment paper protects the iron, but it also protects your paper. So I put the paper on that, and then the textured red paper on the little heart, and then the black and white on the bigger heart. And so I'm showing you, I just have this little finger sander and I'm just getting into all those little grooves there. And as I was doing that, the back of that paper is white. So when I was doing that, it was kind of like pulling some of the color out of that paper. But I thought it looked good because it's distressed. And if you know me, you know I love to distress everything. So yeah, I did that. And then I to all three pieces, the same thing with the iron-on technique. And then I just glue them together as I'm showing you here. I have a Jenga block. I'm going to give this little heart some lift because it won't glue flat on these other two pieces. But it looks more, you know, three-dimensional when you do that. It adds interest to the piece. And then, bam, I have a bunch of ribbon and I cut them all up. I don't remember how long they were, 6-7 inches. And I'm going to make a messy bow. So the black and white checked is from the Dollar Tree, and then the heart one is from the Dollar Tree, and then the red one, that one I just picked up. I don't know where that's from, but you know, it's easy to find red ribbon. And I dovetailed all the ends, and I cut 4 pieces of each. So I have 3 different types of ribbon, and then I just crisscrossed them to make a messy bow. And then after I was done, I just took a piece of jute twine, double tied it off in the middle, and that's what I'm doing right here. Clipped off the excess jute and then fluffed it out a little bit. And then now I have this small ribbon. So this is double-sided ribbon. It's really cool. I probably got that at Hobby Lobby. But the other stuff is from the Dollar Tree. So I cut, I think are there 4 different types? Or 3? 3, because the other one is double-sided. So I just cut them the same length as the thicker ribbon, and I'm just crisscrossing them. So I cut, again, 4 of each one. And now I'm just going to take a piece of twine again. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to tie it and knot it in the back. And I didn't cut off the extra jute because I'm going to tie this right on top of the larger ribbon or the thicker ribbon. I made a double knot and I fluffed it out. And now I'm just going to pop it right on top. I think this turned out really cool. I'm not really great at messy bows, but I guess you don't really have to be great at messy bows. That's why they call them messy bows, right? And I have this little beaded garland from the Dollar Tree. I have like 6 of them from a couple years ago, and I thought, you know what? This is the time to use them. So to hide the center of that, I'm just going to pop one there. And those beads, I got an extra piece of jute twine. I took it off the other twine because it wasn't long enough. I'm going to make a hanger. So I just went red, white, red, white, red, white. And now I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to hang it so it balances it so it's not lopsided. And of course I'm just hot gluing that right onto the back. Now you can take some antique wax and stain the back and that would finish it off perfectly. I didn't do it just for time purposes, but that's what I would probably do normally. Now I have some masking tape, and that's just for added hold, and now I am just going to flip it around and put another little shoelace jute twine knot right on top of that where it says "Be Mine," that little heart on top of the ribbon. It has a little hole on the top of it, and that hole was bothering me, so I just put a little bow on top of that. And now I have some pit berries, and I'm going to wrap them around this pencil here. I did about 8 times. I did count 8 of them, and I made 3 of them. Pulled it off, kind of pulled it out a little bit, bent it up a little bit, and now I'm going to glue one on the left side, another one on the right side, and then one at the bottom. So I don't know. I don't decorate for Valentine's Day. All my decorations are the stuff that you see me make. I just don't. I don't know why. I just never have, really. But let me know if you do. I know some people do. I have friends that do, but I just never really have. Christmas, yeah, I go crazy with Christmas. But anyway, here I'm doing the Distress Oxide in the color black, or it's called Black Soot, and I'm just going around the edges. Now if you have never used this before, I just want you to know it comes in many different colors, like vintage photo and antique and all that. When you use this, once it goes on, it is not coming off. You can take a baby wipe, you can do whatever you want, it's not coming off. You will, if you try to wipe it off the paper, it will kind of disintegrate the paper. So go very light. I always have a heavy hand. This, I wanted it to be a little bit heavier, and now I'm just kind of trying to blend it into the edges here because that's the look that I wanted. But yeah, like I said, if I tried to wipe that off, that would not come off. But it turned out exactly the way that I wanted it to be, and I think this piece is amazing. I love it. Let me know which one is your favorite. I have 4 of them today. This is probably my favorite. Okay, number 3. Now I have this little wood piece from the Dollar Tree, and I probably didn't press play on my camera, but you guys know how to paint. I just took the not antique, Waverly ink, which is black, and I just painted this in that color. And then I let it dry. And then I put a bunch of Mod Podge on top of this because I want to glue the burlap on top of it. So I need a lot of glue on it. And I did not even show you the pieces that I needed for this because I forgot to hit play. And I thought I did, but I didn't. And I did it 2 times in this video. So sorry about that, but you can see what I'm doing here. This is not all that difficult. And if you don't like burlap, I know one of my subscribers said, I really don't like burlap. That's fine. You can just use material. Dollar Tree has some really pretty material. Walmart has little material swatches. If you have a Hobby Lobby by you, a lot of times on clearance they have material, or they do have like little bundles of material. And that would work fine on this too. So this is totally customizable. After I put the Mod Podge on, I put the burlap on, and then now I'm just taking and putting more Mod Podge on the ends because I want the burlap to stick down there really well. And then I'm just going to blow dry it really well. I didn't have to iron it or anything because the Mod Podge really pressed it right into the Mod Podge, and it held really well. Now I'm just taking my rotary tool and I'm just going to trim the edges. And again, if you want to finish this piece, paint the back black. I just didn't because, you know, again, for time purposes, I made a whole bunch of projects and I have a whole bunch more for one more last video. And I just took one whole day and that's all I did was filmed and craft. It was kind of fun actually. And so then I took this black and burlap checked. It was a table placemat. This is a placemat, and I glued that on top, and I forgot to hit, this is the second time I forgot to hit play, but you know how to glue that stuff on. And if you have material, you can just put a ribbon on top of that or another piece of material. These are just the colors that I like for this video. I'm trying to do everything like black and red and white for this video, just to, you know, because a lot of times I do like pink and gray and different colors, and this is just more of a rustic video, I guess. Then I had that red doily. I have a bunch of those from the Dollar Tree, the red ones and the white ones, and I just put the Mod Podge on it. Yeah, I put it on the wax paper, let it sit too long. It did not. I thought, I was so afraid that it was gonna rip because those doilies are so fragile, but it didn't. And so now I'm putting more Mod Podge on top of that just to get it to stick and to not peel up. Now I have these little pieces, these little words from the Dollar Tree, and I just took hello and I put it in the middle here. And again, this is another piece, is not necessarily Valentine's Day. And then of course I got to do my little jute bow, and I'm gonna put a button on it too. So heads up, here comes the button. But I like to make these farmhouse pieces. I think they're a lot of fun. My house is not really farmhouse. I think my family room is modern day farmhouse, and so is my kitchen. But not like super rustic farmhouse. But I love it. I appreciate it, and I do love to craft farmhouse. Okay, number 4. This is a fun little piece to make. And here's what I have. I have the Dollar Tree vinyl. I have this little easel piece from the Dollar Tree. I have the hearts and the pit berries and the stickers. Everything here is from the Dollar Tree. So I have my handy dandy little tool here, my little staple puller. I love this. I got it from Amazon. I am so happy with it. I had a pack of 4 different ones for like $20. I've never used the other 3, but this one just works like a charm. I'm so happy with it. I took the sticker off the back after I pulled all the staples out, and now I have this vinyl from the Dollar Tree. I know it was on sale for $1.25, and I stocked up on it. And so I just trimmed out a piece because I'm going to put it right on top of this easel. That's what I'm going to call it, an easel. I don't think it's an easel though. And I always like to cut my paper or my vinyl or whatever I'm using just slightly bigger, because some of these pieces from the Dollar Tree, they might be a little bit more narrower on top, just by a fraction of an inch in the bottom. And if you get the paper, you know, turned around and you try to put it on, you're gonna see what's below it. So I always, as a rule of thumb, make it just slightly bigger. It's better to make it bigger and then trim it off than to have it smaller and have to do it all over again. So now I took the jute that the little, I can't think of, the little clips were on, and I just replaced it because it didn't fit around anymore. Clothespins, yeah. And now I'm taking the clothespins and I'm just going to hot glue them on there, make it look like it's kind of clipped onto the jute. And I'm just going to clip these hearts right on there. The big one in the middle and the two little ones on the side. I think this is so simple, so sweet, so cute. And then I have these stickers from the Dollar Tree, and you know they are getting rid of all of them. They're on clearance for a penny. So I grabbed a handful of those. I don't use a lot of stickers. And I did a couple different things here, and I kind of removed them because, I don't know, that's how I am. I'm a perfectionist. If I don't like it, I have to take it all apart and redo it. So I put that one on the bottom, and then I took this little heart ribbon from the Dollar Tree and I made a shoelace bow. Stuck that on top. Didn't like the sticker from the bottom. Removed it. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I like that on top. So that looked super cute up there. And then now I'm going to take that heart ribbon again, and I'm just going to put it alongside the bottom. And that is it. I think this turned out super cute. Let me know which one is your favorite. And here is the whole shebang. Everything I made today, all 4 pieces. And if you've missed my other videos, here's a taste of some of the projects that I have done previously in the last month. On that little Highland cow, he's like my little mascot. He sits in my office. I think he's so cute. I got him from Temu a few years ago. It was like $10 or something. I'm not a stuffed animal person, but he was cute. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed my video. Remember to subscribe, like, share, hype, and all that good stuff. And also remember, today's Thursday. This video is going out late. I will have another one, a transition video between Valentine's Day and spring, coming out on Saturday. Then after that, I will have a video out on Wednesday, and that will be the one to watch and to comment on for the giveaway. And I will have the details in my community tab as well. And with all that being said, like I always say, I will be back real soon. And until then, you have a blessed week. Bye.